It's time to go on a road trip.
Hey gang, Marc LeBlanc welcoming you back, not to my shop. I'm here with Sean Funk, who is also an ex-commanding officer of the Royal Canadian Hussars, and we are in the basement of his workshop, which I would call the cave of your man cave.
I have some tools and I have some things.
Yep. So Sean has one toy that I don't have, and I really need it for this project, and that's a CNC machine. So we'll show you that in a second. But we just ran a test, and this is what we're looking for. We're looking to engrave the cap badges of the two founding regiments and the current regiment onto the raised panel doors. So this is the 17th Duke of York Royal Canadian Hussars badge. On the back we have the 6th. The blue-sided tape I'll explain a little later. We're not going to be using that. These were just tests. So we're all set up to cut the real doors. Let's pray it works. All right, and let's go ahead and run this.
All right, cool. Ear to protection.
Yep.
So for this video, I'm going to show you at fast speed how the CNC carves one of the doors. And in this case, it's the logo of the 17th Duke of York Royal Canadian Hussars. Sean worked on the other 5 doors in the next couple of days, but for this video, this is what you're going to see. Sit back and enjoy. Let me explain the blue tape that you saw earlier. Now our first intention was to carve the doors and apply paint in the carved portions. But after we ran the first test, we realized that the carved portions showed the natural color of the white oak, which gave us a very clean contrast with the stained portions. No need for paint then, and no need for the blue tape.
So I'm back at the shop and I'm going to try to fix a couple of small problems. So what we realized when we were cutting the first door, and this is the first door, is that this corner of the door itself was slightly lower than the rest of the panel, and we believe it's because of the base of the table, which wasn't as flat as we thought. So there's some lettering and some symbols that just didn't show up very well, and so you notice here I've got some traces with just pencil traces, and what I'm going to use is I'm going to use this small gouge here, and I am going to manually carve that out very gently, and it's, I'm not looking for perfection, I'm just looking so that the lettering comes out. I did do a test on this one. Some of the problems were not as severe, some of them were more severe, but if you look at this, you kind of think, you know, chances are you're not going to really notice where I did my fixes and where I didn't. So I'm pretty confident that what I'm going to be able to accomplish with the door here is going to be pretty good. So let me start off with this leaf here. This portion here is well carved out. What I found in doing my test is if I start from the other end and slowly bang it in, I'm getting a pretty decent result. And there you go. That's one little fix. I will make some slight adjustments over here. It takes patience, but honestly the results are well worth it, so let's just keep on going. I have to admit that I'm very grateful that we did have a CNC machine to do most of this, because I could only imagine doing this by hand. Oh my God, that would have been slightly painful. I can do some fixes, but I'm not sure I could withstand doing 6 doors like this. Well, this is a pretty exciting moment. I'm about to put the first door together, glue it up. I did a couple of dry fits. This is a very tight joint at this point, and it must have to do with the humidity. It's rather hot, but certainly muggy right now, and so the wood is certainly swelled up a little bit. So what I figured out to do is that I've put the top and bottom rail, and I've dry fitted them onto the center panel, and I've by eye just centered the rails on either side, so it's you know, about as center as it's going to get. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue on the edges of my rails. That's the only place where there is going to be some glue, and I'm going to attach the stiles. Am I getting the stiles and rails confused again? Maybe, maybe not, whatever. Anyways, you know what I mean. And so I'll get that glued up. No glue on the center panel. I want this to be free floating. And then with a bunch of clamps, I will secure this and let it cook for a little while. So pretty exciting day today. We're going to install the first door. It is complete. It is obviously stained. I stained it before, assembled and varnished. I'm going to be using my Craig door mounting jig. Now this jig, normally what you need to do is you need to clamp it to the cabinet, but obviously I can't do that here because there's a floor in the way. And so what I did is I installed double-sided tape both on the underside, so right under here and under here, and that wasn't enough. These doors are pretty heavy, so I've added another piece of tape that acts as a clamp. Phillips screws should be outlawed. Let's see. That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. Wow, that looks good. That looks so good. All right, folks. In the next little while, I'm going to assemble and finish the other 5 doors. And that will be it for the build for this project. And the next step after that will be to take all this apart, put it into a moving van, and move it to my regiment for its final. And believe me, it will be its final resting place. Thanks for watching. Click that like button if you like this little video. Leave me a comment. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Thanks for watching.